Why don't you enjoy being around people like you once did? If that question hits a nerve, you're not the only one. Many people in their 60s, 70s, and beyond begin to pull away from social circles they once held dear. It's not because they've stopped caring, it's not bitterness or disinterest, it's something deeper, a quiet shift inside, and more often than not, that shift comes from wisdom, not weakness. In this video, we're unpacking 6 powerful reasons why you might now avoid social situations you once embraced. These aren't surface-level observations. Each reason touches something real, experiences countless older adults have faced, even if they rarely say it out loud. Some insights may surprise you, others may hit close to home, but by the end, you'll better understand yourself, and maybe even feel at peace with how your life has evolved. Stay with us until the end, because you'll see that choosing space over connection isn't always sad. In fact, it might be one of the wisest, healthiest choices you've made. Let's begin. Reason number 1, the weight of past betrayals. As the years pass, we collect more than just fond memories, we collect wounds. Some are light, a minor disagreement, a brief misunderstanding, but others cut deep. Moments of betrayal, rejection, or emotional abandonment. As we grow older, we hear those echoes more clearly. We stop opening up so freely, not out of spite, but out of hard-earned awareness. We've come to see that not everyone deserves our trust. Think of Khlo Hour, an 81-year-old woman who used to host dinner parties every Saturday. Her home overflowed with laughter, music, and connection. But over time, things changed. Friends drifted away. One broke her confidence. Another stopped calling after her husband passed. It wasn't one big betrayal, just a slow series of small heartbreaks. These days, she chooses quiet over company, not because she dislikes people, but because peace matters more than pretense. In later years, we develop an invisible armor, a shield shaped by life. It doesn't always feel good, but it feels necessary. When you've watched people shift and vanish, you start guarding your space and energy. It's not coldness, it's clarity. Older adults have poured love into others, given second chances, and still been let down. That pattern changes you. It teaches caution. You pause before opening your door or your heart. You start paying attention, not just to what people say, but to how you feel after they leave. Experts call it relational fatigue, the exhaustion that comes when connection feels more like a chore than a gift. It's common in those who have been emotionally wounded, and there's no shame in it. It simply means you've lived deeply. You've seen the full spectrum of human behavior. So when you choose solitude over closeness now, it isn't rejection. Resentment doesn't drive this distance. It's rooted in understanding. It's the realization that your heart, at this stage of life, is sacred. Not everyone should have access to it anymore. Number 2, the desire for peace over pointless conversation. When you were younger, you might have tolerated chatter that didn't go anywhere. Gossip, filler words, talk for the sake of avoiding silence. But as the years pass, your tolerance for that fades. It's not that you've grown cold, it's that you've grown wise. You've come to cherish the calm that quiet brings. Silence, once awkward, now feels like healing. And once you've experienced that deep stillness, it becomes hard to give it up for surface-level noise. Take Henry, a 76-year-old retired salesman. He once thrived in crowds, charming, friendly, the life of the party. Now, he avoids events that demand constant talking. He skips big family gatherings unless his heart is truly in it. And when people ask why, his answer is simple: I'm done talking just to fill the space. He's not retreating. He's choosing what nourishes him. What he wants now is depth, real talk, silence that feels warm, not empty. As we age, our emotional reserves become more precious. We lose the need to perform. The desire to prove ourselves fades. What grows in its place is a longing for truth. We crave honest words, meaningful connection, real presence. And when that's not available, many of us would rather sit with a cup of tea and a good book than waste hours feeling invisible in a crowd. This isn't isolation, it's intention, it's strength, it's the power of choosing who we share our space with. You've earned the right to protect your peace, to say no without guilt, to draw boundaries that honor your energy. That's not shutting down, it's waking up, and the more you honor that, the richer your life becomes, because joy doesn't always come from being surrounded. It often comes from stillness, a single real conversation, a quiet evening alone. These moments now carry more meaning than hours of forced interaction. So if lately you've been stepping back, skipping the noise, and saying no to empty chatter, remember this: you're not fading, you're focusing. You're finally clear on what feeds your spirit, and that clarity, it's one of the finest gifts of aging. If you're still with me and these words are speaking to your heart, leave a comment below with the number 2. I'd love to know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do that now. Turn on the bell so you won't miss out. Your support helps us keep sharing messages that matter. Now, let's move forward. Number 3, the feeling that people just don't understand you anymore. There comes a time when you look around and realize life has changed, and so have you. The slang is strange, the views are new, the world moves fast, even familiar friendships can start to feel overwhelming. In the middle of all this change, a strange thing happens. You start to feel invisible, unheard, disconnected. Not because you've changed, not because you've done anything wrong, but because fewer people seem to truly see you anymore. Take Ella, a 79-year-old retired school teacher. She once lit up family gatherings with her stories, how she raised 5 kids, worked full-time, ran a household, and still found time to give back to her community. But now those stories fall flat. Her younger relatives smile, nod, glance at their phones. They don't mean to dismiss her, but they do, and that gap between her and them, it grows wider each year. This is one of the more silent reasons we pull back. It's not from bitterness, it's from exhaustion, from the slow drain of feeling like no one really hears you. And eventually, solitude starts to feel like shelter. You don't choose your own company because it's better. You choose it because it's gentler. You know how deeply you feel, how much you've lived, how many lessons you hold within. But when people stop asking, stop listening, stop caring, you stop offering, this kind of loneliness isn't about being physically alone. It's about feeling missed even when you're right there in the room. You speak, and they change the subject. You share, and they shrug it off. After a while, you start to believe that maybe it's just easier to stay quiet. Psychologists call this emotional invalidation. When your feelings are brushed aside, minimized, or ignored, it's not loud, it's not dramatic. It builds slowly in eye rolls, in distractions, in the way conversations drift past you like you were never there. But here's what's true. Your words still have weight. Your stories still carry meaning. And your silence doesn't make you any less valuable. If others don't see that, it's not a sign that you've lost worth. It's a sign that they've stopped paying attention. And maybe, just maybe, you've grown beyond the conversations they're capable of having. So instead of forcing your way in, you begin to find peace elsewhere. In smaller circles, in quieter moments, in people, or even places that don't require you to explain yourself just to be respected. And when those spaces are rare, it's only natural to withdraw a bit, not to shut out the world, but to protect your own peace. Because in your own company, you are fully seen, you are fully understood, and that kind of self-recognition, that's something to cherish, not to hide. Number 4. The quiet fear of becoming a burden. As the years go on, a subtle fear begins to grow, not just of illness or loss, but of becoming too much for the people we love. It's hard to put into words, but even harder to shake. You don't want to mess with someone's busy day. You don't want to ask for help even when you really need it. So you hold back, you stay home, you keep your distance, and it's not because you're being stubborn, it's because you care. It's because you respect their time. And above all, it's because you don't want your presence to feel like a task they need to manage. You begin turning down invites, not due to a lack of interest, but because anyone to feel like they're inconveniencing themselves for your sake. You keep your worries quiet, not because you distrust your loved ones, but because you don't want to add pressure to their already full plates. And slowly, almost without noticing, your world begins to shrink. Take Herbert, an 84-year-old widower who once spent nearly every weekend at his daughter's home. As mobility became harder, he started declining more invitations. When asked why, he simply said, "They've got jobs, kids, busy lives. I don't want them rearranging everything just for me. I'll only be in the way." His family never made him feel unwelcome, but that quiet fear of being a burden grew stronger than his desire to be near them. That's a tough paradox many older adults live with. The more you need others, the less you want to impose. The more you long for connection, the harder it becomes to ask for it. You've spent decades being the rock, the support system, the one others counted on. Now that the roles are shifting, it feels foreign. It feels vulnerable. It feels like asking for help might come at the cost of someone else's peace. And at the heart of it all is something very human: the need to feel wanted, not needed out of duty. When it seems like your presence might cause strain, even if unintentionally you choose distance over discomfort, you'd rather be alone than feel like someone's obligation. But here's what matters most: the people who truly care about you want to show up. Maybe they don't always say the right thing, maybe they fumble, but your worth isn't tied to your independence. It's rooted in who you are, not in how much you do. For those who love you, your needs are not a burden. They are a privilege. Still, the fear lingers and it shapes your choices. You hold back your thoughts. You decline invitations you secretly wish you could accept. You sit in silence when your heart wants to speak. Eventually, staying away becomes easier than risking the vulnerability of asking. If this message resonates with you and you're still here, leave a comment with number 4 below. I'd love to know you're listening. And if you haven't subscribed yet, take a moment to do so and click the bell to stay connected. Your support means the world to us. It keeps this channel going and these reflections coming. Now let's move ahead. Number 5, the gentle fading of once cherished relationships. Some connections don't end with arguments or final words. They fade slowly, quietly. People go down different roads. Priorities shift. Life pulls them away, not in dramatic ways, but in small, steady movements. You don't mean to drift, it just happens. And one day, you realize the calls have stopped. The lunch dates are gone. The shared routines have disappeared. It doesn't always hurt. Sometimes there's peace in the silence, but other times there's a lingering ache, a soft grief for something that used to feel essential. You think back to the laughter, the long walks, the conversations that once anchored your week. You wonder, was it them? Was it me? Maybe it was both. Take Victoria, a 73-year-old woman who used to walk every Thursday with her childhood best friend. Those walks became monthly, then yearly, then entertaining. You've let go of the pressure to perform, to explain, to please, and in its place you've welcomed something far more fulfilling: stillness. That's the hidden beauty of aging. The world slows down, but your awareness sharpens. You begin to notice things you once rushed past. The way the light hits your favorite chair in the morning, the sound of wind moving through trees, the calm that comes with a quiet cup of tea. And these small moments, they become treasures. James, the 82-year-old, once known as the life of the party, isn't retreating from joy. He's redefining it. The joy no longer comes from crowds, from clinking glasses, or loud laughter. It comes from presence, from peace, from knowing that his worth isn't measured by how social he is, but by how deeply he lives. And that's a shift that takes courage. The world often tells us that being alone means being lonely, that stepping back means something's wrong. But the truth is, solitude in later life isn't a problem. It's often the prize. It means you've grown comfortable in your own skin, content with your own company. You've lived long enough to know that not all company is good company, and not all silence needs to be filled. You've earned the right to rest, to reflect, to simply be without apology. So when others question your quiet, let them. You no longer owe anyone explanations for the peace you've chosen. If this message resonates with you, leave a comment with number 6 below. I'd love to know you're still with us. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Your support helps us continue sharing reflections that matter. As we close this video, remember this: pulling back from others doesn't always mean you're fading away. Sometimes it means you're finally coming home to yourself. And that's not disconnection, it's wisdom. A deep, earned wisdom that only arrives after a lifetime of giving, caring, and showing up for others. Solitude, when chosen, becomes sacred. It becomes your sanctuary, the place where you refill your spirit, where your thoughts can stretch and your soul can exhale. And with time, you come to see that your most peaceful moments often include no one else at all. You follow your own pace, listen to your own heart, and move through the day without needing to answer to anyone else. And for the first time in a long while, you feel whole, not because the world changed, but because you finally found your rightful place in it. If you're still here with us and these reflections resonate, drop a number 6 in the comments below. It helps us know who's still walking this road with us. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect moment. Hit that button and turn on notifications so you never miss the messages we craft just for you. Now, let's wrap things up with a thought. Which of the 6 reasons today struck a chord with your heart? Was it the slow fading of cherished friendships, or the moment you realized your craving for peace no longer needed explaining? Whatever it was, I hope it reminded you of this truth: you're not falling apart. You're evolving. Pulling back isn't failure, it's self-awareness, it's experience, it's strength. After everything you've seen and carried, you've earned the right to be deliberate with your time, to honor your inner rhythm, and to find richness not in noise, but in meaning. There's dignity in solitude, there's clarity in knowing your own limits, and there's deep liberation in no longer having to prove your worth through endless activity or constant presence. So if you've been stepping back lately, don't rush to judge it. Ask yourself why, and you might discover that what you're really searching for isn't space from others, but alignment with yourself. Let this video be your gentle reminder: even in stillness, you are seen. Even in quiet, you are heard. Even in solitude, you are never truly alone, because others are walking this same path, carrying wisdom, choosing calm, and embracing what matters most. Thank you for being here with us today. We'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and share one insight you're taking with you. Your voice means a great deal to us. If this video moved you, please like, subscribe, and share it. Your support allows us to keep creating thoughtful content that uplifts, encourages, and speaks directly to your heart. Until next time, take care, and remember, peace is not a place you find, it's a home you build within.